All right, what's up, fellas? Mark Parson, Cornerback Pro. All right, so today is gonna be this video is gonna be the most important video on the channel. Um, it's talking about a subject that really I would say I only want my guys who are 16 and up to really view. So if you're younger than that, definitely go. Don't watch this. Make sure you go to the next video. This is not for my young guys. All right, so we're gonna talk about role immersion. Okay, role immersion. You spell it I no Immersion. Okay. This is something you all should know how to do it. Here's the thing about football, okay? One of the reasons I have you guys watch movies is because I wanted you to see different characters. And the thing about football is really can only they try to change the rules, but it can only be played one way, and that's violently. And humans naturally, we're not naturally violent. You know, that's a learned. You learn that from environment. You learn that from the people around you. Okay, naturally, you just want to love, and that's cool. But when on the football field, you got to be a certain way. You got to be a certain character. You have to step into the role of a beast. It's a form of battle. Now, does that mean it's actually war, like war between countries and stuff like that? No, it's a game, but it's a form of battle still, and you have to be a certain way. So how do you how and I want to explain it a little bit more too, because there's several techniques of role immersion. I learned it. Let me first tell you where I learned this. I saw it, but I didn't know the term or the name for it. Okay, my uncle is a respected play director, and has been in several movies. He's in Chicago, and a lot of actors. He went to formal acting school, and then a lot of the guys who are famous and who we know actually were in the class with him. They all know him and respect his work. And I learned part of this from him. Okay, role immersion, and how there's several techniques to get into character and several techniques to get out of character. So let's talk about. Let me give you a couple examples of a character. This is Deion Sanders for you young guys, and I say young, 16 and over at least. Deion Sanders, all right. He talks about. I had the opportunity to meet Deion at Prom U when they first started in 2009, and I actually saw him talking about this in video, and I think it was one of his books. I don't know, it was a while ago, but he created the character Prime Time. So you got Deion, you got Prime Time. Now, me growing up, I thought Deion was like, oh man, it's a flashy, arrogant dude who, because that's the character that he wanted us to see. That's the character that he stepped in. He actually stepped in that window, and it's prime time. I'm prime time. Now you're like, well, Mark, how you know that? I saw it in person. Literally saw it in person. When the camera's on, he's prime time. When it's off, he's quiet. He's not loud. He's. I remember it when we were about to work out, and we're doing a reality TV show for Prime U, because that was his first time like starting to train, really go in and train combine guys and stuff before the NFL draft. And he was just talking to us, and he was like, yeah, I just want to make sure you guys do this and do that. And the camera came around. He was like, hey, baby, it's prime time. Like he literally became the character. Now, here's the thing. I want to show you. I want to talk about different characters and what that means stepping into that role, and understanding there's a time and place for everything. So you have to be able to turn that switch on and turn it off. That's one of the reasons this is one of the most important, if not, this is the most important video on my channel. Beyond the techniques and workouts and all that stuff, this is because when you are able to step in that role, you can become anything you want to be. You can create. Remember, he created this character in his college dorm room. Okay, he was trying to get his mom out the hood. He said, I don't want my mom to work anymore. So he created a character, and it gave him ultimate confidence. Like, I'm talking about for the game. Here's the thing about confidence in the sport. In football, especially at cornerback, look, man, you're going to get beat. Like, they're trying to have their way with you. You understand? The whole crowd loves a long touchdown pass. They love it. They want to see high scoring games. So that's at your demise though. And then everybody talks about you bad. The whole stadium can see you getting beat. So it takes a certain type of character, a certain type of role to be able to endure that. Step back up there with full confidence and say, what's up? You can't see me out here. You know what I mean? It takes a certain type of confidence just from a mentally. Okay? You got to be able to take losses and act like it never happened and learn from it and get better. You have to step into this role. That's why you see Deion, you see back when he was playing, this young guy, he like, I'm flashy, I'm the best ever. What's up? Y'all not gonna be able to afford me. You know what I mean? So he was able to step into that role. And the thing about it is, and this is why I say I only want my 16-year up, 16 guys and up, because I want you to understand something. You got to be able to turn that switch off. And I think from his story, if you read his book, I think you can. It's almost like Deion got lost in that character for a little bit when he was in the league, and he almost forgot of who he was, right? And that can happen to any of us. And he tried to commit suicide, and that's when he got back in the church, and then he changed, and he got back to Deion, but you still see glimpses of Prime, right? That's his nickname. That's what everybody calls him. Who knows him? Hey, Prime, what's up, Prime? But so you don't want to you want to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. Let me give you another example. Since we're talking about role immersion when it comes to acting, uh, this is a technique that the greatest actors of our time use. If you look at Jim Carrey, was it Andy Kaufman? And they're talking about how amazing, how it literally is almost like he became the guy. He literally stepped into the role and became him for that part. And they were like Andy Kaufman's family. He was a famous comedian who died suddenly, and Jim Carrey played his role. And they were like, his family came and hugged Jim Carrey because they were like, it's like they were talking to Andy. He became that guy, bro. One of the best villains of our time. That's why I tell you guys to watch movies, because you can become whatever you want to be. You can literally create the character. You can become that role through your imagination. If you don't believe, let's say you're a person who's always nervous and you're shy, you got all this stuff, you can literally fake it till you make it, and then you become that character. So like, because I'm not saying it's not just a football standpoint. Like, let's say you want to be a person who has more confidence in general. Just, you're nervous, you stutter, you do this and that. Guess what? Step into that role. So there's a window right there. Put your foot up, step into that role, and now you're that person. Fake it till you make it. You're gonna become that. It's gonna be you're gonna get lost in that room right there. Okay? And that's from a positive standpoint. But everything we know has a positive and negative side. So you can be lost in a role that's negative too. That's why I say it's very important that you learn how to be aware, number one. Okay? Be aware. And then step into the role you desire. Okay? So the movie that I love, it's called Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, that's Batman movie. It's Heath Ledger. Probably the best villain of all time. I mean, go back and watch the movie. Okay? The best villain. He played the Joker in the movie. The best villain of all time. And if you go back and watch, see, I'm always studying, guys. I'm always looking up stuff. I'm always researching. Go back and look at how did he have that amazing performance? He became that character, and to his demise, because he ended up dying after that movie, you know, and they said that he became that character, like, how they'll say action, and then after the scene is done, cut. They said his co-workers, the co-actors were like, he wouldn't leave character. He would, what I mean? He would stay in character the whole time, all day. So what do you think he was doing at home? He was staying in character. And that was one of the best performances of our time. Now, if you're not able to get out of this character, then and use several techniques and understand, like, wait a minute, this is a time and place for everything. It can be, to your destruction as well. But it's all up to you. We talk about it's like a wild horse. That's how the mind is. And a wild horse is a beastly animal. I mean, it's a magnificent animal. The horse in itself. It's huge. It's strong. It's fast. It's emotional. And in order to tame it, this takes practice and work, and it has to trust you, and you have to spend time with it and practice and all that stuff. And then when it's tamed, it's a very loyal animal. It loves you. That's how the mind is. And you have to learn how to control your own mind. Don't let others control your mind. You have to be aware at all times. So I'll give you an example of like football players. Some people think, oh, like football players are dumb jock. That's not true. But it is a violent sport. So I talked about when I was in New Orleans, Super Bowl year. Greg Williams, that's the whole Bounty Gate. That's basically got in trouble with the Bounty Gate. Man, he was an amazing coach. He turned us into warriors on the field, and that's through constant programming of the mind, telling us, building us up, breaking us down, building us up, breaking us down, building us up mentally, you know, and physically. But the thing is, you got to be able to, um, you see some football players possibly be violent off the field. You go into a bar, go into a club, or you come home and maybe your wife or your girlfriend is she's talking at you. You know what I mean? And you don't know you're still in that character. You're still playing that role that we on the football field. So football is violent. It's an attitude sport. It's like, what's up? In between that whistle, you're trying to crush somebody, man. It's especially on defense. We're in attack mode, but you got to turn that off. Role immersion. You got to be able to turn on to character and turn it off. These are skills that probably need to be taught more than just acting. We should teach our football players this. Definitely our athletes, not just football players, because it takes a certain level of confidence and attitude to be able to be successful in it. But then we got to turn it off. you know, and that's why I wanted to bring this skill up to you. Is role immersion. You can find these techniques. I was blessed, man. Fortunately, my uncle's in that field. But if you think about it, football and sports in general is performance. It's an event. It's entertainment. So that's what we become. Do you think it's natural for you to run full speed 40 yards in a sprint and bang somebody on kickoff? It's not. You got to be a crazy mofo, bruh. Think about it. To run full speed, I'm running this way, he's running this way, and we're gonna collide. What sane person would do that? You know, it's battle. It's a form of battle, and everybody should understand this. You should understand this once you get in, and you got to come into a character. So I want you guys definitely research and learn role immersion. I can get you information if you email me, but this is very important. Become the character that you desire on the field, and that's the thing. We won a Super Bowl that year, right? The New Orleans Saints won a Super Bowl 2009, but then we kind of went over the edge. We went over the edge with Bounty Gate, so we get in trouble. So we talk about playing on the edge, being on the edge, not going over the edge. But I'm telling you, that's how that team won, guys. And for coaches, if you are watching this, mind programming, to be able to program your guys and teach them role immersion, I'm telling you, it will pay off tremendously. Role immersion. It will pay off tremendously, and then teach them and take them through steps to get in the character and get out to where they can learn how to do it themselves. So when they're on the field, I mean, it's serious. It's let's get it. Let's have some fun, and I'll give you another example. The movie 300, programming, man. The Spartans, look. This is what they taught the Spartans, bruh. It's like everybody else did. They loved war. They thought it was an honor to die in battle. Okay. So when everybody else is scared, they're like, yo, we're outnumbered, man. How are we gonna win? And then the Athenians, the guys from Athens, Greece, they looked at the Spartans, and the Spartans are excited for the honor. Man, that's all mind programming from a little child. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. The mind is what you want to master. You master the mind. There's several techniques. There are different terminology. I didn't know this stuff. I saw him do it. I saw others do it. I watched movies. But now I was able to, since, there's an actual term for it. Role immersion. Okay? I wanted to give you that, man. Definitely watch those movies and improve your skills and everything you do. Master your mind and you master life. Remember that. All right, fellas. Email me if you have any questions. Peace.